6 second Carl.
I don't know. We'll give him a little.
What the 6 second Carl refer to, Jay?
We'll give him a little. Bit
Nothing.
Before he comes back, it might just end up staying like that the whole way through. We'll end up getting some sort of weird background noise and some sort of.
At least he looks happy though. No matter how he's
smiling.
He's not noticed, has he?
Oh,
he's gone now.
Not noticed, have you, Smarty?
Never mind. Of course I've noticed that you were me who did it. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Oh, shut up, you little dwarf. We've started. Welcome, everyone, to the Orta Know Better Podcast, episode 38, season 3. Hope you're all well. Let's get a bit of an introduction going and we'll crack on.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Orta Know Better Podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds eating bastard. Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No. The utensil played a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really.
Feel a bit right, dickhead.
That's what I say.
I feel a bit
right, dickhead. Me.
I feel a bit right, dickhead.
We should put it on a t-shirt. We'll have you wearing it.
Do that.
Hey
up.
I hope we might be
Todd
blessed with a
Podger's
fifth.
back. He might not be.
Is he back?
Is he here? Is he here?
Hey!
Oh, no, he's gone. Is he here?
Hey!
It's like the shittest okey cokey I've ever seen. He's in, he's out, he's gone, he's back, he's fucking frozen. He's happy though. How we doing, chaps?
Yeah, doing all right.
You know,
Laptop died there.
Look at all you
another week
smiling
as a Leeds
faces.
fan.
All you smile. You can
I'm
tell the
doing
season's
really well.
not on anymore.
Do you recognise this hat, Smarty? It featured in a video of mine when I was really, really unhappy. Do you remember?
That's not like you. No, I don't.
That's most of them, innit?
I was 2 peaks in.
Oh, yes,
it
of
was
course.
pissing it down with rain.
Yes, of course.
And I was very depressed. So I've worn it just for you tonight.
Thank you, mate. Yeah.
Homage to the weekend when you're going to die.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Chafing.
Someone's decided to convince me to go for a walk around Yorkshire, all 20-odd mile of it, or whatever it is, in the glorious British sunshine.
26?
Is it
24 degrees?
Stuff. Can't wait for that. I mean, no one wants to carry a fucking head like this out in fucking North Yorkshire.
Nobody wants to carry a head like that, full stop.
I'd start with the forehead and then move to the head. But anyway.
That's the usual fucking tub while he's just on there.
Captain nickname down there before I start. Two more names than frigging flit. Oh, we'll stop. How are we doing, chaps?
It's good.
But in response to your question, Smarty, how are we doing? Do you know what? I'm not doing too bad considering we've just been relegated. I mean, I know this is the first time I've been on, and I've avoided all things football for probably the last 9 or 10 days or so. but yeah, I'm not. Do you know what? There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to look forward to, even though we've been relegated. You know, there's a lot of the unknown. We think, you know, we're going to come on to a few bits tonight.
Looking forward to is a bit far-fetched.
You're not looking forward to 23 home games next season?
Not really.
Against the might of
Millwall.
Tuesday night.
I mean, we will delve into it a little bit, but it's all a little bit, you know, up in the air a little bit still, isn't it?
I'm not that bothered. I'm over it now, I think because I've avoided it, I'm over it.
You know what, though? You know that Plymouth has replaced Brighton on a Tuesday night, don't you?
Oh,
no trains.
Absolutely nailed on.
Nothing else.
Absolutely nailed on.
Plymouth.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Friday night
nailed
first game is going to be us away to Plymouth. Calling it now. Calling it now.
Can you imagine?
Oh, it's
to open the
unbelievable.
season. That's probably right.
There, anyway.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Open the season on a fucking banger, like.
So
Yeah,
myself and
absolutely.
Luke haven't featured in any podcast since we've been relegated. This is the first one for us. The other three amigos have been, you know, crying. Obviously, Jay's done his, you know, his own little pod earlier in the completely random and on your own. Fair play, mate. You know,
Absolutely.
I
All
would have
by
done
myself.
anything but go on a podcast at the fucking end of the season. In fact, that's why I took myself off into sheep country for a week. Luke, you've already told us how you're feeling about relegation stuff. Gilly, how are you feeling, mate? Have you had time to reflect?
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to any pod, you'd have heard me talking through it. I think
I just registered what you actually said. Then it took me a minute.
I fairly made my peace with it early on. I was telling these guys that
reflection, but whatever.
Well, yeah,
throw them in the bus all you want. I'm here for
no, I did. Yeah, I made my peace with it early on. I know that some of these guys were still holding out hope down to the last game of the season. I'd thrown the towel in after Palace, which meant that the reflection was more. Now, for fuck's sake, all of this shit needs to happen. That needs to happen. We need a new board. We need a new director of football. If we're going to have one, we need a new manager. We need new players. That's been my period of reflection. Has been, for fuck's sake, there's all that to do again. So that's still a bit shit. But even that, we're feeling. I mean, I'm sure we'll come on to it, but we're feeling slightly more positive about this shit today.
Kyle, how are you feeling?
A little bit.
Well, I always thought that there was always a chance, but at the same time, I'd kind of come to terms with the fact that it might not happen. So I'm all right with it. I think we'll touch on it later, obviously, but with this news coming out, it can only be a good thing. So, see. It's just moving a bit slow for me at the moment. But, yeah, like Gilly said there, I'm kind of over it now. I wanted to keep the faith a little bit longer because everyone else was doom and gloom, and I just thought, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? But then, came to the day and it was like, fuck.
Yeah. Jay's like the Tide, isn't he? 1 minute he's all happy and we're gonna challenge for the Premier League title next year, and then all fucking hell we're going down to League One the next. Where are you? About a week later, a week on or so. What are your thoughts, Jay?
I'm weirdly calm and chilled about it, and I didn't expect to be. I thought I'd be absolutely devastated, and while I was sad on the last day, I'm more relieved that this season's over than anything, despite the consequences.
Forever, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's fucking game.
I'm just
long season.
It's like the 64-year season.
Yeah.
Imagine next season when we're 46 to play.
I know.
Well, yeah, one of the worst bits about it is FIFA and associations talking about the fact that it was such a success to have a World Cup in mid-season. As in, it's been awful. Don't ever do that again.
No.
We should get a meme made with Karen Carney relegated due to the mid-season World Cup. Promoted due to COVID one.
We'll put it in flags and mugs.
The worst thing about it all has been having that dread of going to games again, like the old days, where you're not looking forward to it like you used to. It's like you've got to go, you've got to be there, you've got to see it, you've got to support a team, But you just go there expecting nothing and expecting to have a shit day and get turned over again, and that's been the worst part of the season for me. To be honest,
we've won 11 times since Bielsa left. I mean, let that sink in. I've been to a lot of home and away games.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And to actually see us win. And I didn't go to all of them. I was in hospital for the Liverpool away.
Oh yeah.
I've regretted going to most of the away games I've gone to.
I'm sorry.
I think
it's probably one of the best decisions I ever made to never go to an away game.
One of the worst things about the upcoming season is going to be the TV coverage when we're having to listen to Keith Andrews and his pals.
Oh,
that's
Goodman.
Don Goodman and Keith Andrews.
Goodman.
I would recommend listening to international radio, Gilly.
Don Goodman, self-confessed Leeds fan, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
self-confessed Leeds fan.
Apparently,
It's hard to believe.
I mean, I'd love him to prove it somehow. I don't know how we could possibly prove it. I don't think he's ever been seen in and around Elland Road, has he?
No, I think he was a Leeds fan in his point that he was a Leeds fan as a kid, but it was after that we fucked him off as a footballer, so that's why he hates the club.
That's right, yeah. Because he wasn't good enough. It's Leeds' fault.
That's usually what happens when they get bundled off in the youth or whatever. Then they say, "Oh, fuck Leeds." But Adam Clayton were a bit like that as well, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he turned into a little bit of a bitter bastard. Did Clayton? I think for me, it's a bit like a dark cloud has finally moved out of the way. Like you said, Jay, going to games and that wasn't a really exciting experience, if I'm totally honest. And I'm really glad to see the back end of that season. Just now, I hope that they crack on with this news. We'll go on to the news about the potential takeover. Now, we've not had it off any official channels, but there's plenty of noise about it, that apparently the 49ers are taking full control. So, how do we feel about this, chaps? Good news, bad news? What do we think about the new potential full American ownership?
I think.
I have to go on, Carl. Sorry, mate. I'll let you go.
No, it's Sam, man.
Open house, open floor.
Go for it.
I'm a little bit on the fence, and I'll tell you why. I think it's Rad's time to go. I think potentially even 12 months too late. I think if the 49ers had bought us last season, we might have been in a slightly better position in terms of sort of coaching and the letting go of coaches at particular times and things like that. I don't think the split boardroom has worked. Now, here's why I'm on the fence. Because we're going into another split boardroom on a bigger scale, because there is a number of investors as part of the 49ers enterprises who are all in it to make money, and it's as simple as that. Now, they can't make money while we're in the championship, realistically. So it's in their best interest to get us back in the Premier League. Great. Long term, that's not. It might not be so rosy, you know. We might see the introduction of candy floss machines on the terraces and popcorn coming out.
Chili dogs,
corn dogs.
Corn dogs are nice.
Coming out of Sticky Vicky's legs and all that sort of stuff. But
let's not encourage the comments, please.
No, but that's simply why I'm on the fence. It's because it's probably what's needed for the short term, but what worries me is more long term. And history goes to show in the Premier League, American owners haven't been great historically for the Premier League, or not well liked anyway, shall we say? Although they're probably a bit undervalued. But ultimately, this group of investors that make up this arm of 49ers enterprises are ultimately in it to make money back in their own pockets. They're doing it to make money. They're investment arm. And look, while it's all going to be, I think it will be positive. I think it'll be very positive, and it needs to happen short term. My worry is long term. But we've got to think about short term for now. We want to get back to the Holy Grail. That is the Premier League. So, great stuff.
We've had enough of thinking long term for the last couple of years, haven't we? We need to think of the here and now.
5-year plan. We're meant to be in Europe next season.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, can't wait for that one.
We're supposed to be rebuilding ground this pre-season, won't we?
Yeah. We'll be building sandcastles at the beach. That's the only thing that we'll be building.
Oh, yeah. Mark Wright's got a good point, though, in comments. Just going to grab it. Can only be a good thing, Smarty. It'll bring more USA fans to our support.
I'm absolutely all for it.
I don't mind American fans. It's the US MNT.
It's the dickheads
that
are a problem.
Can't do with them. They're like thrush.
Do you know what you're saying then, Luke, about like, oh, you don't know how it's going to go long term and all that kind of thing? It makes me think, do you remember that old Budweiser advert when they started sponsoring the Premier League? And they had all those like Americanisms that were thrown into it. And they were like, extra time multi-ball, the Portsmouth Pirates, and all that kind of shit. And fire going up everywhere and all kinds of shit. That's where we'll end up. But we might get a halftime show.
Look,
Beyonce.
Leaders back.
They don't see the video of Beyonce this week.
No.
Video of Beyonce on stage with she opened the growler up now.
She opened her growler up.
Not purposely.
Was it a portal to another world?
She was sat on a step and
Where's this going, man?
And the camera have zoomed in, and she looked up on the big screen and just sort of crossed her legs.
Oh,
you could see everything.
I mean, open the growler up, kind of. No, that's getting up close and personal, isn't it?
Maybe I exaggerate a little bit.
Anyway, Carl,
lovely snatch, by the way. Yeah. Lovely snatch.
Thanks for that.
It's a well kept
anyway,
star quality.
I just want to touch on one or 2 points, Luke. But I think we're right to be cautious because there is a lot of them. But I read today in that article there's about 60 overall investors in the 49ers enterprise group, and I don't think they'll all be involved. That I'm sure they'll be allowed to pick the things they invest in and what they don't invest in. I can't imagine there'll be 60 of them sitting there going, "Oh yeah, let's do this." I don't
think it works like that, Carl. I think when you're part of an investment vehicle, you trust your money into that fund, and the people leading it put your money in.
That's what I mean. Like that, you have
an overview before you put money in. You might get a vote at some point, but I don't think people pick and choose which bit of the project.
Day-to-day running.
But what I mean, like,
will be done by a particular group. And
Maratha,
I believe, is going to head it.
Yeah, they're not going to have to. They're not going to have to confer with 60 other people to kind of make a decision around how the club moves. Like, so that's not an issue. But I'm quite looking forward to it. Like, I know Liverpool fans complain a lot about the Fenway Sports guys, but look what they've done to the ground. They've improved the ground. They've won the league. They've competed in Europe regularly.
Liverpool fans only complain about Fenway because they're entitled bastards. They've
had
They've had loads of investment.
Like, the thing is, they say like they don't spend money on players because they sell players for this amount, but what they're failing to understand is that's good business.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like if you don't have to spend anything because you brought in a load of money for one player, then that's good business. That's not something to sit there and complain about. If they're investing in the stadium and the infrastructure and they're doing other stuff and the training ground and all that, that's all stuff that they're investing in, and that's positive stuff. And if they're not, if it looks like they're not spending on the squad, then they actually are, regardless of what they think. Like,
selling players to Barca, they were with Coutinho.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they bought 3 players for the sale of Coutinho, and it was like,
and they held firm.
And Alisson and Van Dijk were 2 of them. Like, you know what I mean? So to say that Americans aren't good for clubs is, I think it's a bit of a stretch, because Bowley is just.
I've not seen anyone saying it's a bad thing.
No. They're like, you know, as in, you know, it's sometimes.
You mean other fans have said I've got negative things.
I think the bad rep. I think the bad rep that goes alongside. You look at the scum fans with Glazers and like you say, exactly with the Liverpool fans. But these are entitled fan bases, and that's another thing that I don't want us to become. That is just something I don't ever want to become as a fan. And it was creeping in last season. It was as a third year in the Premier League. People were, the expectation was massive, and I don't suppose it's as much the expectation. How do I put this politely without being a dick?
You don't need to.
Just be a dick. We're used to it.
Yeah,
I
want Elland Road, regardless of the size of Elland Road, to always be Elland Road, and I want it to be the familiar faces that you see. I don't want to be sat in and around people who are there because they want to see the Premier League or see Leeds. I want them to be there because they want to be Legion. With Leeds
prawn sandwiches.
We already had a little bit of a toe in that.
You
this
need
season.
some of that.
I know, absolutely.
You need
You're
some
always
of
going to
that.
get that, especially with a bigger stadium.
You do need some of that, but what you do
don't
is
want too much of it.
But you need to keep that away from the Kop and the South Stand.
Yeah.
So I were in the Kop. Well, I were in the Kop for the last game of the season, and next to us were just a couple of people that were just recording game. And
you know, bitch slapped them.
Well, so I had to get. I'm not going to name drop her, but the person that you would not have expected it ever, she was the most angry I've ever seen her, and I had to get in the way so that she wasn't having a go at him. But it is creeping in, and I think.
I wonder who that could have been.
I wonder who that could be.
Loading the comment up right now.
That's not the one. She was there with us as well. I had to get in between both of them.
I'm calling Hep.
No.
Just very quickly.
I'm not going to get
ahead of ourselves about going on about investment arms and being the Liverpool and scum when we've actually just been relegated from the Premier League.
We have just been relegated, but we're not concentrating on the relegation. We've touched on how we feel about that.
But
you know, we are changing the pod name to Forbes Football Podcast next season. So.
I think just to more expand on Carl's point, if you look at the American investors in the Premier League, Bournemouth, Fulham, Villa, Arsenal, Arsenal has made them challenges again. Nobody expected Arsenal to have the season that they've had, but they did. Palace, I know Parish effectively runs the club. He's only got 10%. The rest of it's American investment and private equity investment. At Man City, I've got Silver Lake that's invested as well. So there's loads of American. I think there's probably more American investment in the Premier League in terms of the amount of shares held than there is anything else, and any other nationality, including English, which is a bit strange. But at the same time, that it's partly a bit of an issue in that you don't want that sort of invasion coming from one place. But at the same time, you look at the season, Bournemouth are looking to consolidate now. They've stayed up and they stayed up, with 2-3 games to spare. Fulham had a really good season. Villa had a really good season. So I think
Remedy came in.
But that's their owners making moves when they should have made moves.
Yeah,
not
they
like
went
that.
out and they got him, and he would have been cheap.
No, and you know they got rid of a
Emre.
shit plastic manager that just was expected to be a good coach because he's an ex-player. You know, you look at Gerrard, you look at Lampard. They're clearly not capable of being coaches. Certainly not right now. Gerrard might become this class coach that people expect him to be just because he was a good player in the future, but he's not it now. And I think if you look at that, the American investment and the American owners in the Premier League, their clubs quite largely it's the 49ers are the ones that have not got it right, and they're not the ones that are controlling stake. So the others that I've named there, the vast majority of them, you look at Glazers, you look at Fenway, you look at Arsenal, Fulham, Villa, they control the clubs. They've got the chair, the lion's share
as well. Or is it just one sole owner?
Fulham, did you say? Or Villa?
Villa.
No, Villa are Fortress Investment Group.
Right.
But I think is it
Like Wikipedia, you Gilly. American football ownership.
He has long
no,
breaks.
well, no. Football ownership in general. Luton and Spurs are the only ones I could find that were actually just English owned. Which it seems really strange in the English top flight, but yeah. So yeah, American ownership. You look at the fans, you know, the Norwich scarves come out, and you look at. There you go. Right, the two of them about it themselves.
I was going to say what it, Gale, but I wouldn't have ever expected that from a.
I did say you wouldn't have expected it. The two of them about it themselves. I've not grasped on them, but I did have to stand in between them and the Tories.
Fair play.
But yeah, I think if you look at overall, if you look at investment and American investment, largely they've done pretty well. And they're in a position where since they've bought in, you know, the Glazers, all right, they've pissed money away and they've put all of the debt on the club, and that's brilliant. You know, I love that. But they're still putting money into the club. It'd be great if they ran him into the ground, but the rest of them,
absolutely.
You know, it'd be great if Liverpool did as well. And Bowley's the one, isn't he? He's the one outlier in that he's just shit. He's got fucking no idea what he's doing.
Clue what he's doing, but he's just making money left, right, and centre.
He's like a kid sat in front of a football manager. He's just like, let's get
even
in,
more
we'll
than Abramovich, because everybody watched Abramovich and thought, well, he's just playing football manager. Oh no, hold my beer, because that's exactly what Bowley's doing. He's picked up his save game and ruined it, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Just on that
now.
Just on that, Chelsea, have you seen that there's been no payment towards the Ukraine from Abramovich?
Well, why would he? He hates it. He's Russian.
No, he promised that he were going to in order to unfreeze his funds, didn't he?
Oh,
yeah.
Did he possibly say that to try and persuade the government to unfreeze his funds?
Well, yeah, I think that, but it was a condition of the unfreezing of assets, so he'll be a wanted individual even more so than before.
It's
but
not
yeah,
like they're going to just roll into frigging Moscow and just drag him out, kicking and screaming out of his office.
Well, no, it's unlikely. It is unlikely.
Come on, pal. You're coming back to good old Blighty with us.
Maybe they'll just Levetkin him.
Ooh,
well,
cheeky cocktail.
But you know,
just before I forget though, in terms of the
don't know why it was there.
What does it smell like to you?
I'm going to keep going.
Jesus.
Just before I forget, in terms of Americans and potential takeovers and so on, I don't know if you've seen any of this, but there's I believe he's an NBA player. So we touched on the fact that we were going to mention this, but the Gary Speedwalk's going to be taking place over the next few days. And they've already smashed the target. I think the target was 20 and they're at 24. He might have been 25 and they're at 28 or something, but they've gone well beyond the target. One of the reasons for that is an NBA player has put $2,500 into the pot. It's called Larry Nance, and I'm going to say that name carefully. Nance.
N-A-N-C.
And it's not a floating end Nance, is it?
In response to that, Graham Smith tweeted and said, we're in the territory of the 49ers enterprise investors essentially outing themselves on social media. So if it's not done, it's very close, isn't it? Not wise for the club to utter a word until it's at least agreed in principle, too much at stake.
That's it.
But Larry Nance is part of the 49ers investment arm.
Oh, is he really?
Oh.
Yes, he took himself on a cheeky little stadium tour by himself,
Fantastic.
this afternoon.
Right, okay.
Now they've got somebody tall enough to go around and fix all them TVs and stuff.
And take down all those spy cameras out of toilets and all.
It's all toilet roofs, all tiles.
All the tiles in the toilets.
All stealing back up.
Right, Larry,
Yeah.
got a few jobs for you over here, son.
Come on,
Jay's not going to let you sit on his shoulders at games, mate.
He might do, mate. You never know.
Couple of strip lights
Things
in
have
ladies,
happened.
Larry.
Yeah, you won't want to stand behind him.
That.
Would that fuck Gilly? I'd probably be able to see like through his legs. To be fair, I'd be all right.
Hey, mate, what you do in your own time?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
This is an inclusive podcast.
I thought that was quite interesting. In effect, American investors into the and what Luke was saying. I don't know if you guys have got pension pots that you've looked at in this sort of way. I had a pension that was a corporate pension, and you could choose where to put
a pension pot.
You could choose which. Well, you have to have one now if you're an employee. If you're an employee, but no,
just twist.
Posh bastard.
No, everybody gets a pension now, Jay.
Your pensions,
if
Jay,
you're an employee.
You're an old man now. You need to be thinking about this sort of thing.
Oh, man.
You're into
your
self-employed,
I didn't think I'd last this long, let alone any longer.
Anyway, let me get through it so that we can get off it, because I don't want to end up talking about pensions for ages. You can choose where to put your money.
Fucking bring fucking for
You're paying a certain amount of money because it's coming in from your pay. So it's salary sacrifice from your pay. You choose, right, 10% on there, 60% on there, and you choose where to put, and there's a certain amount of risk attributed to it. So the people that are running that investment pot, you just trust them to do what they do with your money. So you'll pay in a certain amount, and I think this Larry Nance is in it for 75 million. I think I saw quoted. So these people are paying in good amounts of cash, and I think on the basis of all they do is they pay in the money and they just let people run that investment.
Yeah, stop it, Carl.
Larry, Carl, say Larry Nance.
No fucking way.
Go on. Say it in your accent, Carl.
I'm not saying a fucking goddamn word.
I'd love to hear him say it, Larry Nance, in his dulcet Irish tones.
Yeah, it'd be great.
He's an Italian stallion. What are you talking about?
Italian Irish stallion. So, all in all, then, we're quite... Well, obviously, we can't really say too much, but we're looking forward to seeing what the future holds. Now, I don't know whether they're going to appoint a director of football or a Victor Orta type, but what is important is
hopefully
we get a fucking manager through the door. Hopefully not. That we get a manager through the door. Now, if you had to pick, I mean, obviously, you've already mentioned Gerrard. Apparently, he's heavily linked. Hopefully not.
Oh, that one can fuck off.
What do we reckon to a few of the names that are floating around, and who do we think is more than likely or more likely to come on board next season?
Well, it's not Ange.
No.
We've been linked with Ange a fair bit. It's not him. He's now Spurs gaffer. And really tickled me. Marsh looks like he's in the frame for the job.
Yeah.
I've been sobering up some of their fans today because they've been going, do you know what? I saw him at Salzburg and they played really well. It's like, no, hang on a minute, lads. They'd won 10 titles on the bounce when he took over.
Yeah.
There's only one horse in that race. He's shit.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to refollow some of these USMNT lads just to see how they fucking fare with Scottish, because once them lads get fired into it, they have no idea what's coming their way, do they? They will have no idea.
Dude, does anyone...
fuck you, bastard!
Does anybody...
See you!
Fucking hate.
See you, son.
Does anyone remember the American soccer fan who used to go around to different clubs and he used to sing? He was on Twitter. He used to sing like "Marching On Together" with the wrong words in America. And he went and played football with some Scots in a park, and they all had Rangers shirts on. And he shouted, "Who are up the rar?" They all fucking chased him down the street.
Yeah.
Just on managers, Smart. I've just got the odds up now. My preference, albeit outlandish, would probably be Graham Potter, but he's now way out of the running in terms of the bookies' favourite. Carlos Corberan is 2-1 favourite currently, followed by Diego Flores at 3-1. Daniel Farker,
ex coach Flores.
Yeah,
really.
That was funny.
Daniel
That. Well, you
Farker?
today, Gilly, that told somebody that he used to work for Leeds, were it you?
Yeah.
Said,
Who's this guy? I've never heard of him. Why are we linked with him? Yeah, mate,
When
I've
did
heard
he
of
come
him.
in the frame?
He was employed for 3 years by our club. Oh, I feel really foolish now.
I enjoyed that.
When did he
Farker
come into them?
7-2.
Farker.
I don't want
Do you
Farker.
know
if
what,
could
right?
be like-
I genuinely, part of me hopes it is, and only for the fact that Michael from the Square Ball does a fantastic impression of him.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious. That's
is
probably the
great.
only thing.
Yeah, let's get him just for square ball.
Yeah. Then Gerrard 4-1, and then outsiders Bowyer, Rogers, Parker, Iraola, Potter, and John Dahl Thomason.
So
That's
Boyer's
the
just
only
put
one they're
himself
offering
in the
odds
frame
on.
today, hasn't he? He's,
Who has?
I think he's been on
Bowyer.
Bowyer. I think he's been on Talkshite, and somebody at Leeds said you'll come back as manager one day, and he's been quoted.
Yeah.
I wish
It's
you'd
a
play.
20-foot cock and ball, man.
Nigel in the comments saying prefer Brian Potter.
Sammy
Or
the
Ironside.
Snake.
It's a 20-foot cock and balls, man. Don't look like no tells.
Jeez. So, Luke, you've already said that you'd prefer Potter if you could pick one. I'm going to go around the room. Gilly, who would be your choice at the moment?
My choice. I think Coburn's clear favourite for a reason. I think it's probably the one that makes most sense with West Brom being in such a large amount of trouble. But I'd be happy with Potter. I think I'd choose Rodgers. And I think I'd choose Rodgers purely on the principle that I think he might be a little bit more outspoken and he's got that bit more experience. And while we don't have a director of football, even if we bring one in, I think it's somebody that's going to manage upwards and is going to be quite strong. And I see that in Rodgers. But for me, there's only a piece of paper between him and Potter. If we get either of them, I'd be happy with them.
Jay, any preferences?
Probably Rodgers. I'm not sure whether Potter could handle being Leeds manager. When you look at the state of him after a couple of months at Chelsea, he didn't look well, and it won't be any easier for him here if he's
He went
not
from
top of
James
league.
Bond to James Pond, didn't he? Like,
yeah. From Graham
James
Potter to
Pond.
Brian
Wow.
Remember that
There's a
game?
blast from the past. See what it is.
Yeah, that was
Amiga.
nice,
You saw what
yeah,
Jesse
yeah,
Marsh
yeah.
looked like a friggin' 6 months after managing us. He looked like he was ready
Yeah,
for his
exactly.
fucking deathbed, wasn't
He's looking
Did
for
you
that pension
mention
advice.
Smarty?
He's going to go ask for his lethal injection.
Smarty, did you mention old Bladigan, lad?
Oh, Bladigan.
Parker.
I've not mentioned Mr.
He's in
good
odds though,
Scotty
isn't he?
boy. He is,
Yeah.
yes. I won't mind. I mean, I don't know what everyone's thoughts about him, but definitely not for me.
I just see him as a serial failure. I know he
He
did
wouldn't do well
all
up
right
here,
at
would
one
he?
point.
We
but
don't like
I
men
just-
in Bladigans. Up
Yeah.
north.
Listen, you thought it were bad
It's not
having an
normal
American
thing.
in charge with so much stick that he got. What's it going to be like with a fucking Cockney?
No, I think
Boyer's a
Fucking
cocky,
hell,
isn't he?
lads.
Fulham fit him, didn't it? Fulham, with his Bladigan and his very beige personality, Fulham fit him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you see this?
Mr.
week-
Magnolia.
hosted a large picnic party in their grounds.
Yeah, I did
Yes,
see that.
Yeah,
Yes, I did, yeah.
That was very cool.
Do you know, I like
I
that.
thought it was a pretty good idea.
I'd be up for that.
I'd be up for it. Yeah.
I remember somebody.
And obviously, they already had the Victoria sponge ready, didn't they?
Somebody replied that it cost you about 300 quid at Leeds, and
Yeah.
not wrong.
I saw
Remember that
that.
email was sent round about play at Elland Road, 5-a-side or something like that.
300 quid a person.
£3,000 or something stupid.
10 grand.
Come on, lads.
10 grand, lads. Come and have a kick around. Cuppy doubles, 10 grand. There you go.
You'd
I'm
have
going to try and
got
keep
there.
us up against Spurs, though.
You'd get there for your picnic,
play.
and there'd be
I'd
rads.
play.
There'd be rads stood at the gate with a bucket, checking it. Go on, give generously, lads. Just so he can pocket that and fuck
He'd
off
be
with it.
stuffed into a bucket.
There's a few saying Corberan in the comments, lads, and then there's
Yeah, I'm going to flick through them in a minute.
it's
What's your preference, Carl?
I think my preference would be Iriola, if I'm being honest, because he's done exactly what he needs to do with us with the bleeding. Who was he with?
Spit out. Everyone stay quiet. Give him time. Come on,
I can't remember who he was with. What club's he with?
Leave it with
I don't even
him.
know you're
Anyway,
come back to you.
He did the same anyway with them that he's going to be doing with us, and I think he'd be a good choice. But we're never getting him. We're never getting him. Never.
No. He's going to be furiously googling this in the background when he's finished.
I
still reckon Nuno's a punt me. You know, I'd still give him a go. Yeah, in Championship.
I think he's one that could,
Wolves team.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him above Brian Potter or Rodgers, but
Brian Potter.
Yeah, but I would be, I wouldn't be upset getting Nuno. I think the other two I'd prefer, but I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
I
don't know what it is about Potter. I mean, obviously, the main Potter, not Brian Potter. I don't know what it is about him. I'm just convinced by him. Yeah.
I got something to show you, lads. This is Carl trying to answer.
It's a family show.
Which club?
I wasn't answering a question, you fucking moron. I just
you went down that on your own. You weren't even set up for it. You took yourself there.
Say your moron, Jay.
Carl trying to remember Pythagoras to fucking 100 places.
Take your socks off, you bit of count, are you?
It's 12-t. 11-t.
Here we go. A bit of an exclusive from Top Banana, apparently. Corcoran was in Leeds City Centre yesterday. Iraola has fallen to England today.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Top Banana?
Yeah, we'll see.
Interviews, maybe. Get your salt and pepper pots out.
Oh,
now.
Yeah, do you remember when we used to roast him every week on here? And I even offered him a charity boxing match. And we just went off it. It just fizzled out. That guy who we've forgotten to talk about.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Carl's still working on it.
I can smell it. Then gears going round in his head. I can smell it burning.
What the fuck's his name? I can't fucking remember.
Fuck off, shit.
Oh dear. So chaps.
Hockaday I was on about anyway, but you were on about Raul Vallecano.
Yeah, that's the one.
There he is. He's giving it him on a bloody silver platter.
I didn't want to not hear from him for the rest of the tonight. That's all.
We can't be here all night.
I would have just waited for it to pass, and I'd have just started talking about whatever else you were talking about.
Oh, don't you worry. I should have had a little post-it note at the top of my screen. Remember what?
Yeah, well, with a head that size, man, surely you
Top
won't
Banana's
forget
son saw Corcoran yesterday.
I mean,
Fantastic.
Man in the know.
I mean, how many times have we seen, such and such has been seen in Leeds? And
We have to take it with a pinch of salt and pepper, don't we?
He's been knocking on front doors of Elland Road, and, come on. I mean, we'll see, won't we?
Odom Wing is probably there waiting outside to sign for us as well.
That were a legend.
So not only did you not remember what you were saying, Carl, but you also didn't listen to Smarty give the answer to who he wanted.
Yeah, no, because I was just sitting there going...
It was... Who the fuck's this man?
I was like that for ages. Yeah.
What about Vieira? He were another one that was mentioned earlier on.
No, don't want him. No.
Why not?
No.
Hey, Palace were going down under him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing with Vieira is that he clearly, when what he
and
was
the
doing
sandwich
stopped
shop
working,
next door asking about how the bacon is.
When what he was doing stopped working, he didn't know how to change it or do anything about that.
Go on, Luke.
That's the worry for Vieira.
How's the bacon?
How's the bacon? Did you see it?
Did you see it?
When he's hung over as fucking, he just a big slug of water and goes.
Yeah.
How's the bacon? Did you say? How was the break then, Steve? The fucking bacon was bang on.
I think the world of football is better. We're not having Steve Bruce in it anymore.
Yeah, as long as he
not permanently, by the way. I just mean from a managerial perspective, obviously. Sorry, Steve, if you're
As
listening.
long as he don't turn up as manager, we're all right.
Yeah, there's quite a few, and you absolutely know that none of them, absolutely none of them, pod dodger. Oh dear. Absolutely none of them will turn up. It'll be someone completely random. But then again, that's the Leeds of old and not the new Leeds under the new American ownership that we're so looking forward to.
Absolutely.
The championship looks rather strong, doesn't it, boys?
There's only 5 teams in it that haven't been in the Premier League at one point or another.
Yeah, but still, it looks bloody. Have we got the image?
I think
Is
no,
it
you're
image?
reiterating your point, Smarty.
That's a
I think
big
you would agree.
second division, like.
The image is not here.
What? Oh shit! You asked me to do that, didn't you?
Like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, no, it's not there, mate.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll give you a couple of minutes.
Yeah, no
who are you
bother.
most looking forward to? Or whose fixture you're going to be looking for first, lads, next season?
I've already told you, Plymouth away.
Shut up, Jay. Realistically, obviously, you're not looking forward to Plymouth.
For me, it's Norwich and Ipswich away because they're relatively close. They're only in 45 minutes
Really?
each.
You're looking forward to going to Ipswich? Fucking farmer.
Well,
boys.
I'm not. I'm actually
Tractor
looking forward to
boys.
going there, but just because it's closer to me. I mean, do you want what answer do you want? I want to go play against Las Vegas away or something like that because it's lovely
Las
there.
Vegas
or
away.
what?
Rotherham away is close to you as well. It's closer than Leeds, anyway.
It's not close to him.
Yeah, but you live in
close.
Cambridge.
Close to us.
Closer than Leeds is.
Only just.
Honestly,
Fucking weirdos, you lot.
I don't know where he gets these from, me. He's in
Simon Johnson's in the comments.
Yay! Go on, Simon.
Make sure you've locked your dogs away.
And make sure you fed your missus this week, Simon.
Yes.
We saw the and absolute no sexual
What is he
innuendo
feeding
there
his
at
missus?
all.
There wasn't
Last
until
time-
you said that, Luke.
Last time
Watch your
Simon
dogs
was
and
on,
watch your missus.
the dog went mad because his missus came through the door. And
Dog
because
were
he's
going
not made a
ballistic
dinner that
and
he
his
promised.
missus practically lynched him. Fucking sorry, lads, I've got to go. Catch you next time.
Si, have you got an half and half scarf? Baggies and
Don't say
Leeds.
stuff like that. No one's got that.
People
Only
people
dickhead
buy
Premier
them.
League fans have
People
half and half
buy 'em.
scarves. And
I'm
Huddersfield
looking
Town.
forward to the
I
away
always
days
wonder-
where we
Here we are.
get a full
There we
stand
go.
to ourselves.
Well padded, lads. Well padded. We got there.
Well done.
That was like that 30 seconds at the start, Gilly,
came
where you
together.
have to talk shite.
So based on last
Don't
season's
shout.
predictions, are we going to do a win-win draw,
No.
win-win draw?
Are we? Fuck.
Fuck.
No, but there's
don't
some
even know
bloody
who
good.
we-
It's a bloody good table, that isn't it? I mean, Christ alive, there's some good teams there. I mean, shame that the Wednesday wankers have come up.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
do with them.
Cardiff. Fucking Cardiff,
Cardiff,
Millwall.
Tuesday.
Cardiff.
Tuesday, absolute guarantee.
Cardiff was so close to going down as well. It was like that was nearly off. Nearly off.
What you mean
Swansea
when
was
that,
shit.
and they nearly beat us twice?
Yeah, yeah. Well, what do you want? Like, you know what I mean? That's the FA Cup or whatever. Like.
Steady on, Simon.
Christ! I thought that was somebody else saying that. It's actually Simon.
It's a good job his missus don't watch this. He'd be getting twatted, wouldn't he?
Followed up by this comment.
Oh yeah.
Over us.
Should be
No, I
hitting him
think
with
it's,
baking tray.
I think it was Steve with his comment talking about dogs. Which Yorkshire derby are you looking forward to the most?
I would like to crush them.
Which one?
Don't bother
Middlesbrough.
us. Middlesbrough. Do we class them as
We said Yorkshire.
I mean, they used to
Well,
be.
they do,
I
don't
know
they?
anymore.
Joking.
They
I'm
still think
joking.
they are.
Yeah.
Did
Shouldn't
we
be
see
allowed.
that fat lad?
All that really
with,
Yorkshire, are they? They can fuck off as well.
Oh,
They're unbelievable.
I just want to crush
5
them
and
all.
9.
I want to spank Huddersfield. I want to spank fucking Hull. Middlesbrough can get him.
There's no H.
Tell you what,
don't pronounce
there's gonna-
you don't pronounce Hull with a H.
Hull.
It's Hull.
Oh, look. Oh.
And they're outside of us.
That's sad.
I just want to crush him.
It's a right
I don't
hand
care how you
Five
want
and
to
nine.
say it.
Kirk.
I just
You
want to
kinda
crush
Tell
him.
you what, there's some real potential for some nasty fucking fights in the next season when you look at that table. Millwall,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
Yorkshire sides, Sunderland, fucking lovely. Let's have it.
I'm
I'd
not
love,
any
I'd love
good
to
They
get
all
an
hate
American
us.
on. I'd
Yeah.
love to get an American on and ask him how to pronounce half of these teams and where they're from. Leicester, and fucking
Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough,
Leicester.
Leicester.
We've got one in the comments. We've got Renee.
Should we get Renee? She's from Texas, I think.
Yeah, Dallas, yeah.
Dallas, Texas.
Like an authentic
Great
person
bunch of
from
lads.
Dallas, Texas. Like, not
Absolutely.
just like an
Even
expat
Bielsa
friend.
couldn't get Ipswich right, so fuck knows what these Americans are. It's split.
Ah,
Then he gives up.
He just gave up.
What was his interpreter at the time? Well, it's Salem? I can't remember how you pronounce his name.
Salim Lamrani.
Salim. Well, it's Salim. Yeah, he was a good lad as well. He still knocks about, actually. He still follows the club and stuff, doesn't he?
I saw. I must have missed him by about 10-15 minutes. He was in Moot Hall doing a book signing, and I missed him. I worked around corner, but he is knocking around. Worcester star.
What's
You mean Worcester sauce?
Wash your sister sauce.
What's your sister? Behave yourself.
I can't help. Every time I hear of someone that's from, like, obviously down south, they just all speak like Tiger King, like what's his called? Joey Exotic.
Joe Exotic.
Harold fucking Baskin. Sorry, every time. Worcestershire sauce. Sorry, I don't mean to offend. I actually love that accent. The South American accent is fucking class.
The actual
That's
sauce.
actually- South American is more Spanish.
Carry on.
Christ almighty. You've just derailed us fully there, Smarty.
This is what happens when 5
I'm not talking about Carol Baskin.
It's difficult with 5.
Oh,
But hey, the people need us, so we're here, Cam.
Cardiff away. God, there's some right scraps next
Swansea is further than Cardiff, isn't it?
I'm going to go to a few of these again. I'm just going to go to a lot of
Bellend?
places I've not been. Fuck it.
Because you're a psychopath.
We had on
I love it.
Grimes.
something there. Does he
Grimes.
still play for them?
And his
Does he
mum.
still play for them?
Yeah, his mum
You're not allowed to say it
his holding mid.
because his mum will tell you off on social media.
His fucking his
Get my
bodyguard
boy away
mother.
from that horrible club and those horrible fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was exactly it.
You horrid boys.
Fucking stupid bitch.
Oh, dear.
Fucking hell.
Silly wench. Oh,
Jesus
dear, bless her.
Christ.
Crashed on a bike.
So yes,
Moving on.
chaps. Moving on. I don't really know what else to speak about, to be honest, because we kind of half got around to who you're most looking forward to and who was the first fixture, and I think Luke answered, and then no one else did. So I don't know if you want to carry on with that.
I want a home fixture to start off with. Fuck Friday night down at Plymouth. I know I was taking the piss earlier. I'd like a home fixture to start off with. Just kind of get it going and get it absolutely hammering in.
Do you prefer home fixtures at the end of the season or at the start, though?
It depends what jeopardy there is on it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I didn't enjoy being at Elland Road on the last game for the last game of the season. I didn't enjoy it at all.
I didn't want to go. I'll be honest with you.
No.
It'll be
Still went.
a promoted
didn't
side
fancy it.
though. It'll be a team that's come up against a team that's come down, and it's likely to be us against either Sheff Wednesday, Plymouth, or who else went up?
Oh, now you're asking.
Sunderland, was it?
Ipswich. We just said that.
Bitch.
It'll be one of those three against us on the first day you watch.
Away, probably.
It will, yeah.
That's
And let's see if Liverpool
quite fancy
get
Ipswich.
Let's see if Liverpool get
I
a newly promoted team again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
Every opening
Ipswich.
day.
It'd be I'd like it at home, but I wouldn't mind Ipswich. That'd be all right. Start off with.
like we're
West Brom?
saying this. Like we're saying like
No. Hang on a minute. We're missing out. West Brom, first game of the season. West Brom 4-1. That'll do. Somebody pop one in from 26, 27 yards out.
Something like
Stoke. Do you know how to take a Stoke one? That'll do. Let's get a
gritty
new
games
regime
there
off.
Again, is it? It's going to be it's going to be a bloody hard league, and it's going to be good to watch as well. Absolutely,
It's going to be,
I'd rather
it's
watch
going to
that
be
than-
difficult.
for the chuffing foreign leagues. Let's fly through some of these comments then that keep getting starred. Nige D's in the comments, and he said, "Let's go boss the championship next season. No project managers or players." Blah, blah, blah. Renee said, "Traditions are really important to American football fans. The owners are sensitive to it. I'm hoping that the same attitude is carried over by the Niners."
Let's hope so.
Sorry, I'll try not to Joe Exotic.
Go
that one as well.
Niners!
Would you take Connor Cody next summer at Elland Road? Skip says.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely, 1,000,000%. But would
I
he
think it
come
depends
down
on
to
who-
Championship, do you think?
Who goes
Well,
out from us?
Well, Warbur's
He's
said his
available
goodbyes
for-
today, hasn't
Yeah, he's available for
Yeah.
not very much. He's a 4.5 million or something like that. He was being touted around for. But I think if you look at his time, so I think the reason that he's not been getting in at Everton is because Dyche plays a flat back four, and Cody's better in a three at the back. So for me, it depends very much on who your manager's going to be. He's a capable player. I wouldn't have any issue him coming in. But if we're not going to play a 3 at the back, he might not be the one that we look for.
Surely he could play in a 4-4-2 though, or 4 at the back. Or
he's not able.
Surely. He's a professional football player.
You'd think so, but then Weston McDonald's couldn't play a different midfield position to his normal midfield position because that was out of position.
Midfielder, man.
Yeah, but he can't play defensively.
That is true.
Anyway, let's not get back onto that. That's over and done with. We didn't have to sign him. We've got rid of him. It's fine. Yes. We'll move on.
Yes.
And that alone was worth getting relegated for.
I don't know about that, but okay.
No, I'm not sure about that.
You know what? I don't usually wish bad on players, but I hope he fails wherever he goes now. Just because of the dickhead fucking USMNT fans. Yeah. That's the only reason. Just so I can stick it right up.
Following him.
I mean,
that's what I want to see. I want to see him fail purely because of all the shit that these people have given us all on Twitter. Anyone that's disagreed with them is a racist, and it's bollocks, man. I'm not having that. You can call out a player who's played shit, who's meant to be this fucking big deal. He's come from Juventus. His mate's telling us all we're going to get this amazing player. He's full of fight. He's full of heart, and he'll run forever and all this. He did fuck all, mate. He was shit. The only thing he could do was take a long throw in.
The worst thing about it, Jay, they came on here and told us that. It's not they just did it on Twitter. Yeah. They came on here and told us that.
Yeah.
Hey, not
absolutely
everyone
bullshit
performs in the Premier League, and that's fine. But
they should have kept him under his sink.
And the reactions from other people, and the we were stupid, and it just got totally out.
Well, I hope it fails, Smarty. You could be a fucking.
Do you know what?
I genuinely hope he stands on a fucking plug.
Just one bit before we move on from this, a lot of them fans, the US men's national team fans, there's thousands of those types of fans in every country, you see. And they're just
there's thousands of football fans in every country.
No, thousands of those types of football fans where they just follow players.
Like Larry
Nance. Don't follow football teams, and they just they're just. So...
I've never known it with any other country where they only follow players around in the same way. Kids will support whoever the best player is.
I get it.
Messi, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Neymar was never the best, but they did. He was massively.
But not Weston, but fucking Kenny.
No, and not Brendan Aronson.
Carl, have you been crying?
Messi. Everyone, he's been crying, laughing at us. We're just
come here,
hysterical.
Come closer.
Go back. What's best shopping Wakey?
The other thing's following Weston McKennie is seagulls for bits of burger that he drops.
Anyway.
You're in danger of sounding like a scummer then, Jay.
Get fucked.
The seagulls, they follow the trawler.
Absolutely. They've been on that here.
They follow
Do you know what, though? The thing with the American fans is they basically, and obviously not all, but the majority that you seem to come across on Twitter, basically the embodiment of the FIFA generation, what we all bastards call kids, who follow players and play ultimate teams and are all about players, not clubs.
It's a little bit strange, isn't it?
And it's because of the franchise. Because of the franchise nature of the sports.
I mean, we're all football fans. We all have a team, but you can, I take quite a keen interest in where Messi. Well, not now. I mean, obviously he's following his money now, but before if he'd have left Barcelona and stuff, because he's an absolute world class talent. Neymar to a degree, and other players like that. But not fucking Weston McKennie. Jesus Christ.
Fucking Neymar.
But Brendan Aronson's obviously throwing his chips in with it as well.
Big up Spurs Live.
Big up Spurs. Cheers for the last season, lads.
Cheers. Yeah. Hope Hurricane don't leave you, boys.
And Renee says here that she got called a xenophobe, or he got.
Xenophobe against Americans?
Against Americans because they criticise McKennie.
You have the normal American fans, and then you have USMNTs, don't you?
I know, they're completely different.
They even fight each other. It's incredible.
But Jay got it right. I mean, I know I'm in danger of bigging him up here a little bit, but Jay got it right there when he was talking about the franchise nature of their sports. Is when you've got draft and so on, actually, the squads and the roster, they don't have any identity. So what are you going to do? You follow your club fine, okay. But then all of your favourite players go to somewhere else because they're going to pick up a better wage, and you've got no way of stopping them because they get drafted. So it's like there's no identity there. You don't have anything that transitions from season to season other than the stand and whatever else. That the stadium is pretty much it.
Yeah. So sports like that though. Is the NFL and all that sort of thing like that?
Yeah. NFL,
sure.
Matthew,
they just follow the players rather than the team.
Well, the thing is,
reiterate that.
With the NFL, they can actually just move a team from LA to Vegas and just change the fucking city that they're in and call them the same name, and people will follow them. Like,
it's crazy as well. If you watch any of the big American dramas that are like anything financial and stuff like that, there's always
like
at some
Friends.
point. No, idiot. There's always you do remind me of Gunther though. There's always a bit where there's a sports team wants to come to a city and there's so much money involved, and it's big business moving the teams, let alone like competing and doing stuff. It's big business moving them. Cheers, mate. Love you too.
Here,
but I think, and I'd like to ask some of the Americans who are watching or in the comments. Piss off.
Breakfast in a can.
Is the thing?
Shut up, breakfast in a can.
I'm going to keep going till I say this. Is the thing that like your local pride is that why college sport is so popular? Because that's your local pride in America. That's your local team. So like top level sports, you just follow the players and who you like. Is that what it is?
Have you seen that picture of I think it's some college or some sort of high school in Dallas? And their high school stadium is like twice the capacity or 3 times the capacity of Luton or something like that.
Yeah.
The stadiums are huge.
Yeah.
But again, Jay's got it right, is that actually the college sports have some level of consistency of who's playing for them because they're going to study there for 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So the best players there are going to be there until they leave university and go off and
going
be
into
professional.
Basically NFL and that, isn't it? It's their championship and League One and stuff, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Renee's confirmed it, especially in the southern states where huge on their college teams here. Yeah.
Their college stadiums are often bigger than the professional stadiums.
Yeah, they get more turnout for the college games than they do for the NFL games sometimes.
It's mad that I find it difficult to comprehend not wanting to watch top level sport and being passionate for your nearest local side. I get supporting grassroots stuff like college football or basketball or whatever it is, but it's just so much bigger there than it is.
What are you laughing at now?
Not the thing here.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Well, he goes, you need to support your local team. I'm from fucking Mayo in the west of Ireland. I support Leeds.
Well, you're fired then, aren't you?
You keep telling me you're Italian.
I said,
depends what day you ask him.
It's easier just to keep my mouth shut.
Depends what tournament it's on.
It is.
It is. Isn't it? Like, because
you've learned a rugby tournament or football or.
You know, just while we mentioned stadiums and so on, I didn't mention it before, and I meant to. Just around Rads and Elland Road. I mean, it does appear that it's making part of the deal, which we all hoped and want to see. But the other thing was that the asset of community value had expired, but the council have confirmed that they've received the submission for it to be resubmitted as an asset of community value. They've got that, so that's under review now. So we did talk about that last week, but it is under review now, which will protect it as an asset for another 5 years. If it looks like there's a danger that's going to be lost to the community for any reason, then the local authorities can step in. So that's a pretty big deal. If there's anything that's being mismanaged or anything like that, the local council can step in. So Lust have submitted that, and the council have confirmed they've received it. So hopefully that'll put that one to bed.
When the 49ers take over, will we get Budweiser instead of fucking Amstel and Carlsberg?
You might end up with Goose Island IPA and whatever else.
Well, yeah.
No, a bit of Beavertown.
That'd please some of you lads who like you.
I love
Beavertown American. Is Beavertown American?
Isn't it?
I don't think it is. I think it's English.
I don't think it is, yeah.
I still like it.
I thought it was.
Depends on where your bird's from, I guess.
Bones Lager. I do like a good Beavertown.
Depends where you what.
Where your bird's from, I guess.
Oh,
Cal's back up there.
Sick jokes. He's sick. Wash your filthy mouth.
Mr. Kiffer says, leave Pod alone. That's your name now, Cal. Pod.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it.
Bunch of boys. He's got your back. Don't you worry.
I just sit here and
Any
get drunk.
hoodle.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
says,
Heineken own it. So fuck that. I'm not drinking that anymore.
I like Heineken. That's what I bought for
I love neck
download.
oil, me.
It's fucking. I love neck oil. It's a great drink. Expecting Gore 99 says, will we go up the first time of asking, lads? Don't see it happening. What do you reckon, chaps? Have we got it?
Right now, I feel like probably not mid-table, but depends what happens the next 2 weeks.
If you were to guess, without
Why
hindsight,
just
obviously
the
we don't
next
know
2
anything.
weeks?
We're going up as fucking champions.
Because you need stuff done quick, Luke. You need people in place early. And you need
Going
everyone
up.
on board and-
Leeds are going up. We've already got all our chance. We can do it.
Just imagine, we do it, and we actually get to celebrate this time properly.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
I went down and celebrated. Look.
But I were there last time, so
Legally, then, shall I say, Carl? Just like we do it legally this time.
There was nothing illegal about it.
stadiums.
it was amazing that night.
Oh,
And to
God.
experience that again would be fucking unreal. But
Doesn't think this is coming out with these conspiracies now.
I'm not saying that.
Hang on a minute. I need to change this for something a bit shinier.
It's all a load of fucking shite.
All I said was it wasn't
It's all
illegal.
bollocks.
That's all I said was it wasn't illegal.
Moving on.
Anyway,
No,
So, yeah,
fuck off.
Anyway, back to the
think we're,
original question. The original question: do we think we'll go up? I think we will.
Yeah,
I mean, so
What,
much
first
of it
time of
hinges
asking?
on. So much of it hinges on which manager we bring in. But if we bring in one of the if we bring in Rodgers or Potter or Nuno, my answer is yes. We're going up as fucking champions.
I think it
forget
depends
one
on
of them.
what squad we have. Before anything at all, like whoever we bring in, it doesn't matter. It depends on the squad we have. We don't know who's coming or going yet. So how
Yeah,
can you
exactly.
say you expect us to go up when, even though you're saying one of them particular managers, we don't even know who the fuck's going to still be here.
Do you want me
Don't
to tell
matter.
you
They
why?
haven't a
They also
clue,
showed us
like-
that it don't matter. You can get promoted with a mid lower table squad if you're a good coach. So fuck it, we're going up as champions.
yeah, but we don't know who's going to be that coach. So
No, and that's
I
why
can't
I
predict.
caveated it with an if.
So this is
So
why
let's
I
some
think
buts.
this is why I think we'll go up, and I'll tell you why. Because the 49ers, as we mentioned right at the very start, the money they buy for us, if it happens, allegedly it's probably already happened. That money they've invested is only worth what they've invested if we're a Premier League side.
oh yeah,
They're only going to start to see a return on that money if we're a Premier League side. They'll not
Yeah.
see that for every season we're in the Championship, that money they've invested becomes less and less to the pound or the dollar or whatever.
And well, the thing is, for them to buy us at the price they've bought us at, they
Sam
can't
agrees
afford
with
for
you,
us
Cal.
to stay they can't afford to stay in the championship. That's the thing. Like they paid rumor is 170 million pounds for a
Rad's
championship
paid
club.
40 while we're at
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40. So they paid 170 million. So it's in their best interest to spend money to make money. That's
what
That
my-
didn't include
my
Elland
point.
Road for Rads, did it? Rad's acquired Elland
No,
Road
it
after,
didn't,
and
no.
they've got Elland Road as part of that deal, we think. So, but even
It
so,
looks
that's
that way,
it's
yeah,
still a massive jump up.
It's a
Yeah,
massive price to play for a championship.
I also
club, let's be
think
honest.
we'll try and keep hold of as many of the decent players that we've got that could do a job in the Championship as well. I almost feel I don't want to go into those in particulars as to which players and things because we'll be here all night debating it. But I think we're in a good position financially.
you're right there, pal.
Yeah,
think
sorry, I
he's
just
just
seen
seen
something. Sorry, as you were.
Yeah, so I just feel that we'll be in a strong position. You know, you got parachute payments, as well as the fact that as much as we hate Rads and want him to fuck off, the financially the club isn't in ruins and where we were when we last got relegated from the Premier League. You know, we've got to be a little bit more optimistic and hopeful compared to what we were 20 years ago, almost to the day. Well, a year out, but yeah. I just feel a little bit more optimistic. What's funny?
Were you 20 years almost today? Give or take 12 months.
So yeah,
I love all like that, me.
I just think I'm just optimistic. Then again, I still thought we could do it on the last day of the season. So what the fuck do I know?
So we're fucked, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Did you boo anyone on the last day of the season, Jay? Did you give anyone some shit from the Cheese Wedge Ultras section?
No, mate. I think I ended up just slumped in my seat for about 30 minutes after the game finished, just sat staring into space, wondering what the fuck
all
I'd just
about you,
seen.
Pontus Janssen sort of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. It's like I'd let the other lads go.
Pint-sized Pontus vibes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just stayed there and took in what had gone on.
I didn't see Carl in the aftermath of being.
Oh, I know what you've just seen. I know what you've just seen.
It'd be your fault. I know it was you that I put off by laughing, but it'd be your fault.
Sorry.
Here's one. Oh, hang on. So, do you remember us talking right early on in the season about a rumour that we never actually signed Adams on a permanent basis and that he was loaned?
Yeah.
It's never been confirmed either way, has it?
Yeah, no. That just screams just fucking no.
We'll find out.
Anyone out.
We'll find out before season start.
I mean, obviously we will. But if he's not ours, then we can't loan him out, surely.
Well, no. If he's not ours, he'll go back wherever his contract is.
So exactly. So it's.
So I think with Aronson, we're not going to loan him out until we get back up because he's not good enough at Premier League. So
no,
he'll go on loan until we find someone to buy him. If that's what happened. Seeing he's got to prove his fitness, hasn't he? So Glenn Hayes, if anybody on the audio pod, Glenn Hayes asks, "Have you heard the rumours that we're going to loan out Adamson and Aronson until we get back up?" Aronson, I think we're going to try and get shut off or he'll play in the Championship and try and bulk up a bit. If we can't find anybody to take him, Cine will have a lot of suitors. Once he can prove his fitness, I think there is probably a good chance we'll be able to keep hold of Cine because of the fitness issues he's had. Adams might fall into the same thing.
I can't see Adams staying. I just can't see it.
I just mean his fitness. Who's gonna take him?
Although it is a big risk on our part as well for having such a good or a high earning player on the books in the Championship when we're expected to do relatively well, I suppose. If when we could potentially have arguably 2 Championship players on his salary, that might stay fit for the full season. Do you know what I mean? It's a big risk, and I can understand why they might be exploring the possibility of loaning him out. It doesn't make sense to us as a fan, but financially, if he can go play in the Premier League next season or Italy and have a season on loan, increase his value while he's there. In the meantime, we bring 2 players in that's going to, come in and make the squad bigger and give us more depth and potentially have better fitness in injury records. Then it seems a bit of a no-brainer to me. But again, I wouldn't want to see that happen because I want to see the very best players playing for Leeds United. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is with that, if you loan them out, you can loan them out and potentially get them fit and get them firing somewhere else. But also, it's running down that contract. So you sale at the end of it, that monetary value is going to be worth a hell of a lot less than it would be if we got rid of him now.
Maybe. Maybe it would. But if they're playing top flight football instead of playing in the Championship, there's an argument to say
he's
that
still the US captain, isn't he? He's still the captain of the US men's team.
I just think a player with that sort of caliber wouldn't be able to go down because if he went down to the Championship, it would be absolutely pretty much nigh impossible to get back out of it if you don't perform to the absolute utmost levels. If you don't make a name for yourself, because would he still be playing for the USA national team? I doubt
that's the risk in it. Is the players that are in their international squads don't want to put that at risk. Willie's been picked again for Italy, but will that continue through next season if he stays? It's such a risk to the players, and much as we want to keep our best players, you also understand that if they make the choice for their international careers not to play in the Championship, well, actually, do you know what? It's a short shelf life for a footballer, isn't it?
We've got to be a little bit sensible here, haven't we? We've got to understand there's probably going to be a massive carrot dangled in front of any players that do decide to stay. Massive carrot, I would suggest, in terms of monetary value.
Promotion bonuses, you mean?
Yeah. Absolutely,
yeah. But
and salary increases.
It's already been sliced in half at least, hasn't it? 50 to 60%. So
but the carrot is, if you get promoted, you'll get that plus.
Here's a nice cheeky $5 million.
All of this, yeah.
Can I maybe throw something out there, lads, just to kind of see what your opinion is?
How long is it going to take?
How big is it?
30 seconds if you shut the fuck up and don't take the piss. How's that? So with Adams being I'd maybe put that more down to you working out how long this is going to take me because you're being assholes about it. Like, so let's just go with that.
Hey, don't tell us on the same brush, Carlos.
Right. So
No.
with Adams
Go on,
being
mate.
American captain, right? Do you not think
Right.
it would do him the world of good in relation to his international career to go, right, I went down with Leeds United. I was the guy who was made captain and brought them back up. If you don't think I'm able to lead the American national team, then you don't know what you're talking about. His stock will rise.
He already is American captain.
Yeah, but who's to say that he's, even with being injured like
because
that?
it's
There's
a
obviously
graveyard for players like that in the championship.
Turn-
if you don't
turn-
perform,
turn it
well,
round
you
a little
are
bit.
fucking
didn't
dust.
do Calvin any harm to stay with
Yeah,
us.
but turn it round a
Didn't
little
do-
bit. Yeah, but
you know,
He was already in the championship.
turn it
doesn't
round a
matter.
little
He
bit.
was being looked
If you-
at by Southgate anyway.
You're talking about their stock rising by being in the championship and being the captain, but if he goes to Inter, let's say, Napoli walked the league. If he goes to Inter and plays every game that he's fit for, let's say he stays fit for 3/4 of the season or whatever, plays in the Champions League, qualifies again for the Champions League next season because they have a good season and they're playing top flight football and he's playing in the Champions League, it doesn't matter what you do in the Championship.
Yeah,
His stock's not going to be as high as that. So I can understand why those
can you
players
see
would
him
go
going
if
to one
there's
of them
Champions League teams.
Like I'll put it to you like this.
If he
Hold
goes,
on,
if
hold
he's
on.
low,
He
don't be buying him.
He came to us,
True.
who finished 4th from bottom last season. He came to us. So you think he's going to get into an Inter team in a
Yeah,
consistent
but that's a downgrade from the Premier League. He upgraded to the Premier League, and now there's a downgrade from the Premier League.
If Inter are playing in the Champions League, that's not a downgrade to what he's not going to get
move
into
to Italy.
but he's not going to get a championship
Italy's
level
shit,
champion. But he's not going to get a champion. Well, they've got a
fairness,
team in the
though,
final tomorrow.
In
They had
fairness,
one in the final of the Europa League. So let's just go about this, right? Okay. So just because he goes to Inter and you reckon that's a shit league, he's still playing Champions League, yeah? But he wouldn't get into a Champions League team in the Premier League, which is the highest level of football that everyone can. So he wouldn't. So he's not good enough. He's not good enough. He won't. If he's playing in the Champions League in Italy and you're saying that's a shite league, the only thing that's going to rise his stock is playing in the Champions League because he's not going to get recognised in the Italian league because you've just said it's shit. So
shit compared to the Premier League, but not compared to the Championship.
But it doesn't matter.
And that's
Either
the
way,
comparison that we've got. No, it does matter because that's the comparison we've got. It's either be in the Championship or be in the Italian top flight, and that's not a comparison.
Well, then the Italian top flight isn't shit
compared to the Championship.
God, look, it's one of the top leagues. Like they've had 3 finalists, and how many finalists have they had in European competitions?
When was Inter's last final?
It doesn't matter when Inter's last final was. They've had 3 fucking teams in finals.
I called them shit winding you up. I was saying if a player goes to one of the top leagues, he's not going to get into the Champions League squad in England. Yeah. Yes, agreed. But he could well go to a Bundesliga team, an Italian team, and get into one of those squads. And you couldn't blame a player for doing that.
Yeah, but it's only going to get recognised, according to you, because the Italian league is shit in the Champions League. What if he doesn't play in the team in the Champions League?
Carl,
what if he's not good
I'll say it again. I only said it was shit to wind you up, and you've bitten so hard you can't even process that.
I don't care.
Anyway, Tasha seems to think, Adams is going to Liverpool, so fuck you all.
Oh, God, I did.
Yeah,
he won't go there.
No, just signing McAllister out there.
Yeah, I was going to say the signing McAllister.
Sam's been in the comments as well.
I didn't say it was a downgrade.
I've seen that.
No, Sam said.
Forest might be fucking loaning Tyler Adams.
I had seen that.
I saw that earlier,
to be honest.
I mean, we just need to get... There's a shitload of players that I just quite happily see the back of. See you later, goodbye. And if that means sacrificing some of the good players as well, which aren't going to come down to the Championship, they will never, ever take that risk.
Do we keep hold of Willie, do you reckon?
How much are we getting for your Llorente?
I hope so.
Probably
We're not getting anything for Llorente because he couldn't do it in that shit league.
I think don't set him off again for fuck's sake. I think when it comes down to Willie, I think if he gets assurances from the Italian setup that it won't impact his availability for the international squad. I think
how can it though, really?
They can't give him assurances. They can't
say, sorry, you've gone down a league. That means you are instantly shit. So
No, I'm not
play for us anymore. I know that's
there's
not what
two
you're
ways-
saying, but logically,
Yeah.
you think, well, there is no sense in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think international players would want assurances that it's not going to impact them, because that's one of the main reasons that they've
I'm
moved.
sure he will do, but I'm just thinking
Yeah.
from the Italians' point of view.
But in terms of his decision-making process, I think if he could see that he wasn't going to, because he's going to be joining up with, like I said, he's been called up. So if he's going to be joining up with them, you'd expect there to be some conversations with his agent and the Italian setup to say, he's with his club, they're in the Championship at the moment. Is this going to impact his chances of being
like
picked?
this, and no offense, Danny, this isn't on you, but like people, Juve want none. We don't know who wants who and what wants where. They have been heavily
linked, but you're right.
I hate comments like that. Not specifically from Danny. No offense, Danny. It's just that such and such is fucking Ants told me that such and such is going to fucking here, there, and everywhere. It's like no. Wait until we hear it from official channels. It's like all this 49ers stuff. We aren't going to hear anything. I mean, it's strongly rumoured, and I'm pretty certain it's going to happen. But there's still a chance it's all bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did anyone else see Maldini has left AC Milan as director of football?
Yes.
Would anyone take Maldini as director of football?
Take him as left back.
I take, just
Championship.
Just have him around the place.
I don't think he's coming to Leeds.
I think if you look at they were our rivals for the Kettle Boy, and they paid a fair amount of money for him. Cheers for that, Jay. Keeping you away, pal. He's not getting on so cracking. He's not doing too well. So I don't know what their transfer history, with youth setup and whatever else, if he's been involved in that. I don't know what his specific scope of his role's been, but if they're all akin to that sort of signing, then maybe not.
Time will tell, chaps. Time will tell. I think we can pretty much go around and round in circles about this, like probably for another hour. But we are cracking on. Does anyone have an Orta Know Bitter? Anyone got anything whilst everyone's yawning or anything like that? Because I'm sure that'll take another bloody half a day.
Jay and I had an hour and a half Orta Know Bitter.
Understandable.
I think we just ranted at each other. So I'm probably done for now.
I mean, Carl were there too, weren't they?
Yeah, but me and you just ranted at each other.
Fair enough.
Carl was still trying to think of Rayo Vallecano.
I was actually going to just drop it there right at the end.
Fucking bad.
I was sitting there waiting for that for ages. I was waiting for Smarty to just end it, and I was going to drop it in, and then I was like,
sorry, mate. Just going to run away, like bitch slapping and run off.
We've sat and ranted about what a arsehole Rads is and some of the shit that he's done and things like that. I don't think we need it tonight. I think it's
some
nice
shit
and
flying
chilled.
in for Carl tonight. Honestly,
Hey,
poor Carl. What's he ever done to anyone
no,
else?
won it since 1950 fucking 1 or 2.
he's getting it, isn't he, tonight?
Have we got any other announcements? Everyone's
Which is
yawning
lucky.
heads off. It's knocking on.
I wish.
Luke, is there any Andy's Man Club stuff that we need to be aware of? Any announcements? Any
just
walks
the
in
usual
local areas?
Monday, just the Monday evenings, I believe. Other than the guys who are doing the walk in, I believe they're doing it again for Andy's Man Club, aren't they? The Square Ball lads.
I'm not sure
starting
if it's
tomorrow?
this one this year, but it could be.
I don't know, actually. You've
One
caught
of
me
you.
cold with that one.
Gilly's paused. We've lost Gilly.
One of my mates is doing it. His name's Nathan Driscoll, and I hope he gets blisters and all that. So it's worth it. Like, best of luck, Driscoll, man.
Good luck to you all.
And Smarty,
Yes.
best of luck with the chafing.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'm not
That's
doing it for
okay.
Andy's Man Club though. I'm doing it for something completely irrelevant, apparently, according to Gilly.
That's okay.
Batley, he's doing it for
But at
Batley.
least I'm doing it for Batley because we're
Do it for Batley.
Local rivalry.
For bloody Batley. So,
Gilly won't have it.
Oh, fucking hell, he's
Oh.
got it all now.
Holy shit, man. Whoa.
Everyone's going.
Yo, man, it's just me and you. What's going down?
I think we better say bye because it looks like it might throw us all out at some point. What the fuck happened there?
I don't fucking know. Here, man, we've got it all to ourselves now. Let's get this shit going.
Yeah, I think it is for Andy's Man Club anyway, but
Yeah.
fuck knows what happened there. They're coming
Not a
back now.
clue. Whoa. Are you sure?
Oh,
hey,
I
Jay.
had no idea
Hey,
what the
Smarty.
hell happened there. That would have been crazy.
It threw you all out.
Yeah.
As if somebody had fucking hacked us.
I think I said something went wrong. Make sure you're connected to the internet.
Yeah, something's gone wrong. We haven't lost anyone watching anyway, I don't think.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, chaps, unless anyone's got anything else to say, I don't know.
Luke, do you want to announce your new heir?
Yeah, so when I die, I'm leaving it all to my dog. He's now the heir of my throne.
Oh, Christ. Right, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks to everyone in the comments, as always, interacting with us. You keep it ticking along nicely. If you haven't done already, please like and subscribe to our podcast because we need you to do so we can become mega rich and filthy.
Yeah, we only get 10 pence per episode off YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not that
it's
it matters. We're all here for the laugh and the banter. It's probably going to be
Help us
absolute
out.
carnage next year, but I am kind of looking forward to it. More podcasts, more content coming your way.
We are back next week, by the way, for our end of season do. So we're all going to be on having a few beers. You can join us next Tuesday.
Yeah, that
and
should
we're
be a
gonna
good
have
one.
Yeah,
the
we're
proper
gonna have a bit
send
of a
down of the
bash.
season. We'll look back and laugh at a few bits because I'm pretty sure we made some pretty bold predictions between us. So yeah, we can come back and take the piss out of each other for that. So
Gilly looks like he's trying to connect on 2 laptops here.
I think
Not quite sure.
I've just got a notification that Joe's starting, I think, so that's probably why everyone's disappearing, so you might as well wrap it
is that
up.
why Gilly fucked off?
Probably, yeah.
We'll go over and
Gotta
watch Joe,
that.
just Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
go watch him.
Joe's
He's
on. Go
fucking
and watch
ace.
him now.
Thanks for your time, chaps. Thanks everyone else. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.